You had already told me, my love, that when you were a kid, you often made astral travels.
Yes.
And your parents could confirm that. You left on other planets. You were on the moon and on Mars, it seems?
Yes, that's it. I made astral travels. But the particularity, and it's very strange, because in general, in an astral travel, you don't bring back anything. Because you leave your body, you are ethereal. And all that you bring back are beautiful memories. Me, the particularity that I had when I made astral travels, it's for example, if I dreamed that I was skiing, I woke up in the morning with the mark of my glasses.
You had tanned around the glasses?
Oh yes, definitely, and my parents could testify. It became a running gag. Because, they said to me, "Well, where were you last night? Because, you have the mark of your glasses." "Ah, yes, I skied," she said. Yes, indeed. It was still weird, because to have the mark of her glasses, but really, very marked, it is strange, and I do not sleep with glasses. Others also. Where I dreamed that I was at the beach, I dreamed that I was in the Bahamas, in the warm seas. And in which I went with you. But 40 years later. And when I woke up, in the morning, I was really tanned. Then people could say it could be the blood circulation. No, I was really like brown. There was white sand at the bottom of my bed.
And you lived in the city?
In a 7th-floor building. In the middle of the Parisian suburbs, with no sand around, especially in my room.
It's not like you've been playing in a sand pit.
No way.
For half an hour.
Not at all.
Before going to bed. And you also visited the moon, I believe?
I went there. In fact, the first time I did an astral travel, I wanted to go out of my body. I tried, I said to myself. Well, it doesn't work. I had the impression that the ceiling was very close. And indeed, I was out of my body, but I was so close to the ceiling, you know. I turned around, and I saw myself sleeping. So it's weird to see yourself in duplicate. At the time, you panic a little bit. I saw a kind of silver filament that went from my navel to my body. That was there. And I started to rise. I could see my parents' building. I could really see the balcony. I was a little bit afraid of vertigo. It was intense. I was going up very fast through the clouds, and suddenly I found myself in space. I saw the earth in a magnificent blue. With all the shades of the ocean everywhere, it was really incredible. I always saw this silver filament that went like that, indefinitely. I realized that I had gone out of my body. I was in space. I turned around, and I saw the moon, and I said, I'm going to go for a ride on the moon. It was really beautiful. I could really feel the energy. I was flying very fast, because I found myself instantly on the moon. That is to say, it didn't take any time. The time I thought about it, I was already on it, and suddenly, I arrived on the dark side of the moon. And there, I saw constructions. I was young, I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, not more. And I saw people who were chained. And I saw people who were tied up. Then mistreated, there were beings of tall size like tall grays. With big black eyes, the grayish skin. And they were bad. And I saw all that, and it looked so real. It scared me, and I thought, okay, nobody can see me. And as I said that, 2 of them turned around and looked at me like this. So I thought, they really see me. I can remember their big black eyes. I was so scared. I felt myself being pulled backwards, and I went back into my body at full speed. My heart was beating.
Do you think they would have this capacity to see our astral body?
Maybe a few years ago, 5, 6 years ago, I heard that supposedly, there would be slaves on the moon and Mars.
When you made this astral travel, you had no information.
But, nobody was talking about that 45 years ago.
Is it this time that you made a drawing of this out-of-body experience?
Yes. I always drew and wrote about what I saw in my diary. I kept notes of everything. And I read, in an article years later, that there were supposedly bases on the moon. I thought it was very strange. When I heard people talking about a secret space program, I felt like it was very familiar. And there were slaves and greys that were mistreating them. And I said, oh my God, that's really what I had seen, you know. When I started to control a little more the astral travel, I went out of my body easily. I had a light globe. But you turned it on, and it was like a night light. And I looked at the places where I wanted to go. Well, I would go to Egypt. And I went to Egypt.
It wasn't natural
Yes.
for you. You were lucky to have parents who didn't shut you off from these abilities.
I'm still lucky. Because they're still alive. So yes, they were very attentive to me. And that's great, because otherwise, I could have been put anywhere. Like in a special institute, making me believe that I had problems. Except that everything I said was true. Years later, I've already been to the center of the earth. And at this time, at the age of 7, I had no idea of the hollow earth theories.